Hey everybody, it's Zozo. Today I will be explaining the power system found in Hell's Paradise. If you haven't heard of Hell's Paradise, well, what are you doing? Go do that right now, cause it's fucking great. Hell's Paradise is a wildly popular manga by Juji Kaku, an author who was once the assistant of Tatsuki Fujimoto, the author of Chainsaw Man, which is another great series that will be getting an anime sometime in this fall. And as I already finished Chainsaw Man, I felt it was only natural to read Hell's Paradise. But enough of that, let's get right into the foundation of the astounding battles in this manga. The name of the power system in Hell's Paradise is Tao, or Dao, which is more correctly pronounced, but for now I'll just be calling it Tao. If I had to compare it to another power system, I would say it's more akin to Nen in Hunter x Hunter, but less complicated, but also in a very good way. See, it's actually sort of a rock, paper, scissors power system, and that's kind of why I compare it to Nen, but it's more simple in a better way. So first, let's talk about the general idea of Tao. Like, how does someone access Tao? To access Tao, the user must manage to walk a middle path in life. They must be a strong, but also weak individual. They must be calm, yet intense. They must feel love and hate. They must be alive and in tune with death. Bordering these lines is what gives someone the ability to use Tao. If they titter too far to one side, they cannot. It's a balance of life, essentially. And if they cannot find this balance, then they cannot use Tao. For a quick example, let's just say if a character was too strong, like physically strong, but was not in tune with their weaknesses, they cannot learn to use Tao. This puts them in a sort of predicament because they are very physically strong and skilled and might be able to take down average humans who do not use Tao, but in the face of someone who can use Tao, they are powerless. So there are 5 different types of Tao: wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. Wood beats earth, fire beats metal, earth beats water, metal beats wood, water beats fire. Now, I'm not really gonna lie and say those are perfectly rational, like why would earth beat water or wood beat earth, but just take it at face value that those are essentially the type hinderings. To be more specific, if 2 characters engage in combat, let's say one is fire Tao and the other one is metal, the fire Tao user would not only have an advantage, but the metal user would be at a major disadvantage. Just a mere touch from the fire user would hinder and drain the metal user. Furthermore, if the fire user is a supreme being, like these beings called the Tenzin, the metal user, no matter how physically superior and skilled, would simply not be able to land a finishing blow. Now, if a Tao user depletes a majority of their Tao, they can suffer from fatigue and even amnesia. If the user is completely depleted of their Tao, they will die. The 5 types of Tao don't just stand to hinder one another, but they can actually help and restore power to one another. If you look at the chart again, going clockwise, the types restore energy to each other. For example, wood restores fire, fire restores earth, so on and so forth. This can be extremely useful in combat, but in actual physical healing as well. This is because of what Tao is. Tao is essentially a universal force. It flows through all of creation. Tao is found in everything, living, dead, or inanimate. Yes, even inanimate objects have Tao. Very small amounts of Tao, but still Tao nonetheless. You can think of Tao like waves of energy that flow through everything, and several characters were shown to have been able to see or sense Tao before they even knew what it was. Like in Hunter x Hunter, Tao is unbeknownst to the general public, but it is still usable accidentally. Removing all Tao from a living organism kills it. Therefore, a positive Tao matchup would just restore energy to that living organism. Now, this fills them not only with energy, but physical healing too. Now, it has yet to be proven how grave of a physical injury or deformity a matchup of Tao can heal, but I assume it's minor. In the manga, there's a character called Shion with wood Tao, and he was born blind. Nuragai is a girl with water Tao who assisted him in the manga. She is able to heal and restore his energy, but she cannot cure his blindness. So as far as the manga shows, the healing would be for minor cuts, bruises, and general energy recuperation. So, you're probably wondering, how does one train in the way of Tao? Well, it's a little hard to answer the question because of the way the manga went, but I'll do my best to explain with some examples. First, let me say that Tao is not specifically stated to be tied to a user's personality, but it is heavily implied throughout. Gabimaru has Fire Tao, and throughout most of the series we see him use ninpo techniques involving fire. He also kind of just embodies a lot of the personality traits you would associate with a fiery personality, I would say. Not hot-headed, but very strong, very passionate. And on the opposite side, there's Nurugai, who is a relatively calm girl, and she has Water Tao. So with that said, it seems as though some people have more of an affinity for learning to use Tao than others. The characters in the manga don't actually do much training with Tao in the manga, but some just learn about it and were able to use it at a base level, while others didn't grasp it till a death battle, and others just couldn't grasp it at all. There are some training methods to improve Tao mentioned by the Tenzin, and each Tenzin prefers one path of training, but all could be used to improve on any type of Tao. The training styles are the following: Do-in, which is essentially yoga; Taisoku, which is breathing; Shuitsu, which is meditation; Shuten, which is involving the pathway of body and organs; and Bochujutsu, which is just copulation. Each of these training methods can all be used to improve one's Tao. You could do all 5 of them. But, once again, each Tenzin prefers their own path of training. However, there is a specific emphasis on Bochujutsu in the manga, which is kind of used as a symbol of yin and yang, right? It's copulation, so it's 2 energies matching together. Where in the scenario, not one body is taking over the other. They're working together, they are finding a perfect pairing, and this shows a great way of how a positive Tao matchup will help one another. Now, there is also a specific weak spot. Now, this is kind of more associated with human beings and some of the humanoid creatures of the island. The weak spot is referred to as the navel, or what most people would just call the belly button area of your stomach. This is considered a weak spot because it is said that Tao forms and resonates there. So throughout the manga, when our characters are fighting off against a Tenzin, that is the spot that they are aiming for, the navel. And like I mentioned before, if your type of Tao is hindered by like this Tenzin, you will not be able to kill it by cutting its navel. But if your Tao does hinder theirs, you will be able to cut it. And, well, that's about all the manga covers, so if this was useful to you, be a dear and subscribe to my channel for more content in the future. I hope you guys have a wonderful day or night wherever you are. Goodbye.